It's your girl Adeola. So the chairman of Silverbird, Mr. Ben Bruce, has been rocking the internet, dropping some hard truth on Twitter left and right. Hey, listen to this. Rich politicians get free pilgrimage, free medical, free police escort, while those that they represent get nothing. Hashtag Nigeria must change. Yes! Preach it. Hey! If we want Naira to increase value, let's eat Nigerian rice, fly Nigerian airlines, use Xenox PC, and wear local fabrics. Hashtag FG must buy made in Nigeria. Did I hear made in Nigeria products? Amen to that. Never in the history of nations has so much been taken by so few from so many as Nigeria. The Nigerian elite sponge off the Nigerian masses. Word! I'm just about to take off from LA after attending my son's graduation. As you can see, I don't fly first class. Now you are starting to mess up. What happened to the Aluta tweets that you were giving me? You see how my blood was getting hot? I was right there. Aluta Continua was happening already in the studio. What kind of tweet is this now? How does this help anybody? The man has been saying Nigerians should patronize Nigerian products and services. I thought he would say his son went to a Nigerian university. Not that anything is wrong with studying abroad. I studied abroad myself, and congratulations to the guy. But I cannot do Aluta Continua with this kind of tweets now. And by the way, I don't see anything wrong in flying first class if you can afford it. And obviously the man is flying business class. As you can see in this photo, the economy is the one behind him. Why not kuku fly economy if you want to be self-righteous about first class? I beg, let's move on. Do you have something else here that makes sense? The hottest place in hell should be reserved for governors who live large at public expense while workers with children have not been paid. Che! You know, I didn't know that we have people like this in Nigeria. Bami, you're definitely up. God bless you, my brother. How come we didn't have people like this man during this past administration when corruption was practically being celebrated in Nigeria? I'm sure that this man, Ben Bruce, is just landing in Nigeria and he's already keeping it real with all our officials. Hold on. I'm sorry, it's my producer. Hello, we are already live. Can we talk after the service? Are you serious? Che! My father and my gods! Ben Bruce. Wait a minute, my people. Ben Bruce of a Silverbird. I know the man, the one that gives that award, Man of the Year, to politicians. Not be him gave a Governor Akpabio award one time like this. Who don't know say Akpabio na corrupt man? A governor asking for 200 million naira allowance. That is after he leaves office with brand new house, brand new cars, furniture for the rest of his life. After he leaves office, you're kidding me? He gave the award to Mama Ngozi as well. You know, Her Majesty that is not accountable to anybody. And then last year, he gave the same award to Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan of Delta State. And guess who presented the award? Fire, say, yes, so the same governor of Ekiti State, direct election, Governor Fire, say, that governor of Delta State is actually, never mind what I tell you. Let me read some of what Nigerians are saying about their governor of Delta State receiving the Man of the Year award. With no performance, he is begging awards. You guys know, say, no be me talking. Say you understand. Hey, let me read down. Silverbird Group has compromised its integrity. Look inward, Silverbird, before you are accused of using your choice as a means to swell your pockets. Chai, there is God. Let me read one more. Silverbird, you know, building go catch fire and burn throw away for all these bribery awards. Haba, why are you cursing Silverbird? Now, I'm waiting be your name. Akpos for president. Akpos, and you want to be president. Haba now. And then he said that the worst governor ever. Naim, you they give award, one single road, you do aga no do, and you hear they give him Man of the Year. The man not fit beautify one single roundabout for worry in 8 years. You now go that. Why you they talk about that now? Just write your comment and leave. Remember, say you won't be president someday. You don't need to wish death upon somebody, Akpos, but you know, we all get your point. Say you understand what I'm saying? These are the people that the man, What is his name again? Ben Bruce, yes. These are the people that the man, Ben Bruce, had been given awards. He gave to some good people as well, but yeah. All I'm saying is, I appreciate everything that this man has been tweeting lately, and I love the fact that he's not just saying there's corruption problem in Nigeria. He's actually giving some possible solutions, that we should patronize our products, and officials shouldn't be paid until their people are paid. There's no need for huge allowance for furniture when they're already overpaid, and we should put an end to borrowing, at least for the sake of our grandchildren, and we should develop tourism industry like Gambia did. You know, he talked about that as well, just to name a few of the very important solutions that he gave in his tweets. So these are great solutions, and I love it. At the same time though, I cannot believe that he's been there all along and never said anything for 5 years of Jonathan's administration. I understand that he's from Bayelsa, like Mr. President, which is probably why he didn't say anything, but if someone like this had said something when subsidy was removed, or when Oga do not budgeted 1 billion naira for food, or when $20 billion disappeared at NNPC, or when police pension fund was embezzled, or even when the Chibok girls were kidnapped, if someone like him had said something, then maybe things won't be as bad as they are right now. Honestly, right now, I would rather just wait and see how the man Ben Bruce performs as a newly elected senator himself, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't take to all the advice that he's given on Twitter, especially when he said that this headline that Nigerian senators and reps made 600 billion naira in 4 years. When he said that must be reversed, I was like, I really hope that we reverse that. I'm glad he brought that up. I can't believe that our senators made 600 billion naira in the last 4 years. That's more than $3 billion US. And they only passed 106 bills in 4 years? What? Which means that they passed like 2 bills per month. Like, really? Yet they remain the highest paid senators in the whole world. I'm glad that the idea of reducing their salary is coming from Zaman Ben Bruce. And now that he's a senator himself, I cannot wait for him to lead by example by asking for a reduction in his own salary. And while we're still on numbers, did you all hear about the new evidence that shows that the numbers did not add up in Rivers State elections? Yeah, so if the number of accredited voters in Rivers State was 292,000, that means that all the votes from all the parties shouldn't be more than 292,000. Not be so. So how did Mr. Wike of a PDP, how did he get more than 1 million votes when there were only 292,000 accredited voters? Chey! The miracle of multiplying the ballot paper. Abracadabra. Pusha. Nigerian officials, then they colo. These people think that we are stupid. Chey! The next person after him, the APC candidate, had 124,000 votes. Look at that difference. So he had 1,029,000. The next person had 124,000. Look at the difference. Che, the devil is a liar. By the way, is it true that Mr. Wike paid 20 million naira to each electoral officer for them to cooperate in the miracle of multiplying ballot paper? Hey, you didn't hear that from me. Speaking of which, how many of you were at the Thanksgiving and farewell service for Mr. President and Mama Patience last week? I'm telling you, we were all so sad. We were very sad. I cannot believe that Oga Jono is living. I'm not gonna cry. But you know, it was a very moving service. And then Oga Jono gave this really beautiful speech. Yay!
I've run the government this way that stabilized certain things, electoral processes, and took certain decisions that brought some stability to this country. It's a very costly decision that I must also be ready to pay for it.
Lakuli, what is this man talking about?
If you take certain decisions, you should know that even people close to you will even abandon you at some point. And I used to tell people that, look, more of my so-called friends will disappear.
Wait a minute. Is he talking about his concession to defeat?
And when the clerk took the decision to abolish minority rule in South Africa, even his wife divorced him. I hope my wife will not divorce me.
That is enough. Kolido, stop it now.
And for the ministers and aides that serve with me, I sympathize with them, because they will be persecuted.
Did I not tell you that that is enough? Stop playing the video. Now you are part of the persecution.
I wish my ministers what I wish myself. They will have a hard time, we'll all have hard times. our ways will be rough.
Today, people get to see my karate skill practice on your head. Where are you running to? Your father. Don't you know that that was a quote that the man was quoting? Get out! So I'm sure that you guys have been following the drama in Burundi. An army general took over power while the man was in Tanzania. There was a coup, although some people are saying a coup attempt, whatever you call it. People made it known that they didn't want him anymore. That is all I know. However, when Mr. President announced that he was flying back home, the coup leader closed the airport and the border. So Mr. President literally had to fly to Uganda. Hello? The police that had been harassing protesters for weeks were nowhere to be found, and people were on the streets celebrating in thousands. If there was a coup against you and people would celebrate, you must be really bad. So there were a lot of celebration going on, until the part 2 of the story began. Some soldiers that are still loyal to Mr. President decided to fight the other faction that wanted to get rid of him. Just imagine that. Now both parties were fighting each other the whole day on Thursday. These people were killing each other. Civilians had to run and hide for their lives. And I tried to warn this man, Nkurunziza. I said, my brother, just step down in peace, not in pieces. Why would the president insist on third term? By fire, by force. And guess what happened? That other faction defeated the coup leader and his own people. Just imagine that.
After the coup attempt, fighters loyal to the president attacked and burned independent TVs and radios. Now, the only radio and TV on air are the state broadcasters controlled by the government.
This is very sad. I thought it's a new day in Burundi. Just imagine the number of people that were killed because of this senseless battle. So now, Mr. President has control of Burundi again.
When President Pierre Nkurunziza returned to the capital, his supporters welcomed him. But the activists who've been organising the protest say they now fear a ruthless and violent crackdown. Many are in hiding or have fled the country.
Like, really, Mr. Man, what aspect of we don't want you did you not get? Now, the man needs to live. He needs to live. You see how much we like drama in Africa. Is this all necessary? And I hope that his story will challenge other dictators that we have in Africa. People are watching you. They're tired of you. Enough of Africa being the laughingstock of the world because of leaders who have refused to develop our countries and refuse to leave. I mean, if you're not doing it, leave and let somebody else that will do the job now. These dictators are just there, not doing anything to advance the countries, but actually intimidating their own people. I really wish the people of Burundi the best. The people are back to square one. And of course, I'll let you know what happens, but I think this man needs to step down. You guys don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya, and this is one of those stories that I have to keep coming back to myself because of how much it inspires me. Meet this woman by the name Terry Gobanga, who is a pastor. Several years ago, she was abducted on her wedding day. And guess what? She was raped by 3 different men in a moving car for 3 hours. 3 hours. And then they stabbed her several times before they finally dumped her by the roadside while the car was moving. When villagers discovered her, she was of course covered in blood, and since she was naked, no one really wanted to get near her except a little child. When police finally came, they couldn't find a pulse. Everybody believed that she was dead, so they packed her in the bag to take her to the mortuary. On the way to the mortuary, she coughed inside the bag. That was when they realized, wait a minute, she's still alive. So they turned back from going to the mortuary and they took her to the hospital. She was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Her story became major news in all of Kenya that a bride was kidnapped and raped on her wedding day. So that publicity alone was traumatic for her, on top of everything that she's been through. And then guess what? Doctors came in and told her that when she was stabbed in the stomach, her womb ruptured. Therefore, she would never be able to have kids.
I was at that place in my mind asking God, do you care? Every time I heard any male voice, I was told I was very violent. Not one person, 3, I'm not saying one is better. Rape is rape at whatever level.
But one wonderful thing is her fiancé did not leave her side the whole time, and he still wanted to marry her, although everything that had happened overwhelmed her. So it took a year after the incident before they finally got married, and miraculously, some of those who read about her story in the news decided to pay for her wedding. She got everything for free, everything paid for, including the honeymoon. I was so happy when I had this, that, finally her story is changing, until she talked about what happened 29 days after the wedding.
He went to the bedroom, took the jiko to the bedroom to make the room warm. Then he came to the kitchen where I was cooking. He switched off the gas, carried me on the kitchen counter and told me we need to talk. And he tells me, you know, in case I would die, I would want you to go on with life. I stopped him right there.
Wow. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know how he knew that something was going to happen that night. I guess some people just know.
And he was not happy that I stopped him. We've just come back from a honeymoon. We are praying and fasting the whole day. It's an exciting time. You don't talk about that. And the atmosphere had really changed. So we embraced. I remember we were in tears. We didn't understand what was happening. And we prayed.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, that night, they both inhaled carbon monoxide from the heating stove that he bought called Jiko, which he was trying to use to keep her warm. By the time that neighbors got to them, of course, both of them couldn't move for a long time. By the time the neighbors forced the door open and got them to the hospital, she made it, but unfortunately he did not.
I'm in tears. I'm in shock. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me that's a dream.
Have you seen his body?
They refused for me to see the body.
Don't forget, this was 29 days after her wedding. Of course, she was bitter for a long time.
And then at one point, my in-laws, not immediate, came and I'm being accused that I killed my husband. So wow. So I've had it before in the African, community. It's very hard for a husband to just die, even if it was cancer. There's something the woman did.
And we can only imagine what she's been through.
People withdrew their children from me. They called me cursed. They could not understand why so many bad things are happening to this one. I actually sat down with my parents and I asked them, is this the point where you tell me the truth so that this thing stop happening? But I got my strength in God. I lived a day at a time.
To cut a long story short, a close friend of hers that stood by her during the whole tough time later asked for her hand in marriage. And of course she was hesitant.
And I said, I'm not able to give birth to children, and I don't want you to stress me, being an African man. And so he tells me children are a gift from God, and if we have them, amen. If we don't get them, that means he will just have more time to love me.
Wow, only true love would say such a thing. So they went ahead and they got married. Of course, it didn't go well with some family members. Her father-in-law did not show up for her wedding, but she said that today they are now like best friends. They've been married now for 8 years. Yes, 8 years. And guess what? During the first year of her marriage, she got sick and they thought it was just fever until the doctors told her that she was pregnant.
My first reaction, what I did, I picked my phone and I SMS'd everyone on my phone book and I told them I'm pregnant. Some of them were asking me, who are you? And my reply was, I am pregnant. I was very excited.
Anyway, she went on to have another baby after that. So they have 2 children. And today she goes about encouraging people, inspiring people, motivating people that no matter what you have been through, your story can also become a testimony.
One thing I've always said, crawl if you have to, but just know destiny awaits. The 24 hours in a day just remains 24. So if you're going to cry for 5 years, those are wasted years. I encourage people, don't dwell on things, deal with them as they come.
Wow.
So do not put a full stop where God hasn't put one. Go right back, put a comma. You might be in chapter 1, it might not be so good. Chapter 2, chapter 3, not so good. Who knows about chapter 7?
Wow. So I decided to share this story just in case someone out there is going through a very difficult situation. And it could be anything. I mean, maybe you lost a loved one as well. Maybe your business has failed. Maybe you've struggled for so long and you have nothing to show for it. Or maybe you wish that you're married or that you have kids or you're just overwhelmed with school. No matter what you're going through today, please remember the woman who was raped on her wedding day by 3 different men, the woman who lost her husband within a month of her wedding, and the woman who was told that she would never have a child. If she was able to press through all that, you can press through anything. But you guys know I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave today, I like to read some of your emails, and the first one is from Oloyede Dimeji Solomon, and that's the man that wrote me about his cousin that has been at the hospital in India for more than a year now. He just wanted me to let you know that people have donated up to 47,000 naira for his cousin in India. Thank you so much, guys. He gave me some names. Mr. Idowu Ayodeji, thank you for your donation. Mr. Ogbuefun Success, thank you so much for your donation. And then there were some anonymous donors. Thank you so much, every one of you. So far, people have raised 47,000 naira. He said as of now, he doesn't have an update from the hospital in terms of how much people have sent to the hospital. But if you send the money directly to their GTB account, they're able to keep track of that. They're trying to raise $7,000. That's how much the guy needs for him to be discharged from the hospital. So thank you so much, everyone that has donated. I appreciate you guys. Our next email is from Folarin Ayodele, and he says, "Hi Adeola, I live in the Gambia. Have been waiting for you to talk about what happened almost 2 months ago in the Gambia. The president changed all the currency to new ones with his face on it. He also created a currency made of plastic, similar to the new Nigerian currency, in celebration of his 20 years. Chai! 20 years in power, and this man is not even ashamed of it. The funny thing is that when everyone saw the celebration currency, we thought that was going to be the way all the money would come out. But to our shock, the new money came out similar to that of Monopoly money. Look at this man. Hey, you know how I talk about so many things that he's supposed to take care of in his country and he's not doing. But what he's doing is to put his face on the money. The money, that is what is important to him. So does that mean that if they have another president, because you know they're having an election next year, does that mean that when the new person comes in, they will have to get rid of all these new notes? Why is he even bothering himself? So the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 dollars, they all have the face of Yaya Jammeh. It's like somebody telling me that President Goodluck Jonathan decided to print his photo on all naira. Just imagine how ridiculous that would be. It's like he's not getting ready to leave at all. Putting his face on the money tells me that the man is not ready to leave anytime soon. So for my Gambian people, I wish you good luck in the coming election next year. Make sure you register, make sure you vote, make sure that your voices are heard. There is God, there is God. And the last email today is from Fati Owoblo, and this person says, "Hi Adeola, whenever I hear people write you about electricity issues in their communities, I always laugh because Anka is a local government in Zamfara State, Nigeria, that has spent over six years without electricity. And that's the community where the first class emir is." What? You ain't got no electricity for 6 years, man? How do you survive? How do you survive with no electricity for 6 years? The devil is a liar. And what community is this? Anka local government in Zamfara State. Zamfara State. Well, you put up the photo of Zamfara's governor. Mr. Governor. The people of Anka, they don't have electricity for 6 years. Exactly what are you doing? Fix the electricity issue. Talk to somebody that needs to talk to somebody that will talk to somebody about talking to somebody to fix the electricity for these people. 2 days, I cannot survive with no electricity. If there is no electricity, I can't do this show. Actually, you understand? The people of Anka, you know, do well. I don't know how you've been doing it. I really pity you. Governor of Zamfara, do something. You know what? That's all the time that I have for emails for today. Yes, keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Yes. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to Forstview Luxury Hotel. At Forstview Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forstview Luxury Hotel. We are located at #1 Adeola Mishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofi First Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forceviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forstview Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.